Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Okay, today our class we will discuss about chapter number 3. We discuss about energy and also the transport or transportation. So in terms of subtopic, we will discuss about the background, especially about the transportation, energy consumption and also transport. And the last one about the environment and also transport. What the relationship between transport and also the environment. Okay, background. So transportation, in terms of the definition, movement of human, animal, and goods from one location to another. Okay, so this is the definition of transportation. And there are various modes of transport, such as air, land, water, cable. Cable also considered as a transportation because we want to transfer any data, any information through the cable. Also include the piping line, where we want to transfer or transport liquid, petroleum, gas, and so on. And also in terms of space, so where we need to, for example, we want to transfer or want to transport a satellite to the space. So these are the various modes of transportation. So the importance of transportation will be important for the historical, social, political, economics, environmental, demand growth, cost reduction, and also infrastructure expansion. So these are the importance of transportation. So the purpose of the transportation actually shaped by variety of human and also physical constraint, such as distance, time, administrative division, and also topography. Topography means the what called geographical features of certain area. And the transportation will involve variation of costs, such as where the cost of transportation depend on the length of trip, how far we will go by using specific transportation, the capacity modes, and also infrastructure, nature of thing transport. So these are the what we call the factor that affect the cost of the transportation. In terms of principle, transportation connect different location, or we call spatial linking, to satisfy demand that arise indirectly, which is we call derived demand. What is derived demand? Derived demand refers to the demand that exists because of the demand for something else. For example, if we have an example of activity such as working, so in order to go to the workplace to conduct the activities of working, so we will have derived demand, where we will have two types of demand under derived demand that we call direct derived demand, where we need to have a certain what we call medium or certain transport in order to arrive at the working place. Okay, which is referred to the commuting, where the workers need to go to the working place by using certain medium. And also we have indirect, which is indirect derived demand, such as the services, transportation services, car, buses, plane, railway station, railways, train, and so on. And also, in order to move all kind of the transportation, we need to use the energy. Okay, another example, if you want to go to conduct any, we want to go to any vacation, so we need to travel. So in order to travel at certain area or at certain place, we need to have, or we need to go to that place by using certain transportation. Shopping also, when we need to travel, we need to deliver the good that we buy or that we sell. And also what we call indirect direct demand. So we need to have warehouse where we need to keep our goods, our product, and so on. And under manufacturing activities, we need to distribute the products by using certain specific transportation. Okay. Okay, in terms of transportation system, so we have numbers of transport modes, such as air mode, land mode, sea mode, and so on, in order to what I call to bring any passenger to from one point to the another point in terms of places. Okay, freight, which is referred to the goods, cargo, and also commodities, and also we can use the transport to transfer or transport the information. So there are three main factors that we need to consider. First, demand in terms of volume and also frequency. The nodes or the location, where the nodes is referred to the origin, destination, and also intermediacy. And the third one, the networks, linkage capacity, and so on. So these are three criteria or factors that we need to consider for the transportation system. And between network and also demand, we need to have is infrastructure in order to support the demand and also to support the networks. And between demand and also location, we will have a specific location in order to fulfill the demand of the passenger. And between network and also location, we will have flows, different type of flows. Okay, so the core component of transportation, we have four core component. First, we have the transport mode we consider as core component, which is a mobile element of transport. The second core component is the infrastructure, which is referred to the physical support of transport modes. And the third one, the third core component is the system of linkage, the system of link location, which is referred to the network of the transportation. And the last one, flow, also considered as the core component, which is represent the movement of people, freight, and also the information. Okay, so each individual core component, if we refer to the example based on the scale, so there are three types of scale. So we have local, regional, and also the what we call global scale. So for example, for the infrastructure, in terms of, if you consider local scale, the infrastructure involved with activities, space, district, terminal city, and so on. For regional scale, we will have bigger area such as metropolitan area, market area, and also urban region. And in global scale, we will have land bridge and also trade area. For the core component of network, for the local scale, we will have transit system, street network. For regional scale, we have commuter rail, air network, highway, railway. And for the global scale, we will have international air network, maritime shipping network. And the last one, the scale, different scale for the flow, the last core component for the transportation. Okay, for the local level, so we have commuting, personal and social trips, and also deliveries. For the regional scale, we will have intercity, passenger flow, distribution. And in global scale, for the flow core component, we will have trade, tourism, and also business trip. And the last one, migration. So these are different type of scale that cover under the each individual core component for the transportation. Energy consumption, also transport. Transportation versus energy consumption. We want to know the relationship between transportation and also energy consumption. Relationship. So the relationship between transportation and also energy is direct, where if the transportation activities increase, the energy consumption also will increase. So the subject is compromise between speed and also energy consumption. Okay, so we need to, in order to what we call to use the energy wisely, we need to compromise between speed and also energy consumption. Okay. So the main issues for the transportation versus the energy consumption, first, the price level and also the volatilities, which is the thing that unpredictability, such as demand, traffic flow, cost, and also the supply chain. The second one, technological and also technical changes, where we need to use high implementation means we need to use high costs in terms of implementation to implement the new technologies for the transportation. High maintenance costs, infrastructure incompatibility due to the new technologies, and also involved with technical skill shortage. Okay, when involved with new technology. And also the environmental externalities, which is refer to the environmental consequences, such as air pollution, greenhouse gas emission, noise pollution, water pollution. Okay. Energy use factors. So we have for vehicle, it depends on the efficiency of the vehicle, the engine type, and also the fuel type. So amount of energy used by that vehicle depend on the efficiency, type of engine used, and also the fuel type. The second factors is the infrastructure. Depend on the capacity, how many, how big the population involved, level of service, what kind of service involved. And the third factor is demand, the level of economic activities. So if the economic activities increase, suppose the energy consumption also will increase. Price of the fuel, spatial structure. So the spatial structure means the arrangement and layout of transportation network, facilities, and also infrastructure in relation to the geographic distribution of people, goods, and also activities. This include the distribution of activities. Okay, so these are the relationship, the main issues, and also the energy use factor for the relationship between the transportation and also energy consumption. Okay, under the same topic, subtopic, but now we discuss a little bit about the CO2 emission. Okay, so CO2 emission by economic sector. So this is the pie chart that represent the amount of CO2 emission released by different economic sector. For example, for the electricity and also heat production sector, so the amount in terms of percentage, the amount of CO2 emit to the surrounding is around 42%. Transportation, 22%. Manufacturing and also construction sector, 21%. Residential, 6%. And the others will be 9%. So if you look at the data, the transportation contribute CO2 emission released to surrounding at the second highest ranking. So if we elaborate the what called the percentage under the transportation, how much the amount of CO2 released, particularly for the transportation. So we have under automobile, the automobile especially the passenger automobile, contribute to 40%. 40% in terms of CO2 emission, and then followed by truck 34%, aviation 11%, and also marine 11%, and the last one for the railways around 4%. Okay, so these are the contribution of each individual sector component for the CO2 emission. Where the transportation, the things that we discussed in this chapter contribute to the second highest in terms of CO2 emission to the surrounding. Energy cost. So this graph shows the relationship between energy cost and also the speed in terms of speed of the transportation. So we have here the train, the tanker, container ship, bus, truck, cargo plane, supersonic plane, helicopter, and so on. So the green color area refer to the area where the transportation at the best performance, where the red color area represent the condition in terms of worst performance for the specific type of transportation. Okay. Okay, so the size of the box in the graph represent what I call the area that represent unit energy cost J per kilogram for multiplied by the speed. Okay, so the highest what I call a bigger area represent a bigger amount of energy cost for specific transportation. Okay. So if you look in terms of what I call the transportation that used to transport goods, commodities, and so on, which is represented by the gray color box. So we can say that the highest performance goes to the cargo plane, train, and also the tanker. Okay, in terms of what I call the energy costs involved for the specific transportation. Okay, about alternative fuel. So as we know, before this, we already discussed the primary fuel actually is the fuel that comes from the petroleum-based fuel, which is referred to the petrol and also diesel. However, due to the oil reserve reduction, oil price increase, and also the pollution due to the combustion, such as the release of NOx and also PM. PM stand for particulate matter. Okay, so the matters that produce I call by the combustion process from the transportation. So these are example of the particulate matter. The particulate matter actually, most of the content is based on the solid carbon with different sizes. And this particulate matter can cause cardiovascular disease, asthma, and also lung cancer. Okay, due to this reason, we need to have alternative fuel, such as biofuel, where this kind of fuel derived from crop through fermentation process, such as ethanol, methanol, and also biodiesel. So ethanol, methanol can be replaced for the petrol. Biodiesel can be used as an alternative for the diesel fuel. And also we have natural gas in compressed form. So the figure shows the natural gas car. So at the top, at the back of the car, we have natural gas cylinder in order to provide the fuel to the typical what called the ordinary car engine. Also, we have new technology use the hydrogen in order to produce the electricity. Okay, as shown in the figure, second figure shows the hydrogen tank that used as the energy source for the fuel cell in order to produce electricity. And also we have electricity. We can use electric car. Okay, we need to use the battery in order to to move the car, electric car. And the last one we have hybrid system, which is combined with typical fuel and also the electric system, for example. Okay, what is the impact of the transportation? So the transportation and also the energy consumption by the any transport or transportation system will affect on the vehicle manufacturer, maintenance and also disposal, vehicle operation, infrastructure construction and also maintenance, management of transport operations, energy production and trade. And the effect also depend on the transportation type. For example, land transportation, average of 85% of the total energy used by transport sector in developed economies. So this is what I call the information for the effect of the transportation, also energy consumption for the land transportation. Responsible for additional energy demand. Rail transport remain 4 times more efficient than passenger and twice for freight. Maritime transportation actually cover 90% of cross-border trade. Ship fuel consumption depend on ship design, utilization level, operational speed, idle time, which is waiting at waiting at port time, and also the weather condition. Air transportation. So for air transportation or air mode transportation, 8% of the energy consumed in the transport sector. So air considered as 8% of the energy consumed in the transport sector. High energy consumption linked to higher speed. High energy consumption linked to higher speed. Technological innovations such as more efficient engine and better aerodynamic have led to a continuous improvement of the energy efficiency of each new generation of aircraft. For the passenger transportation, account 50 to 60% of the energy consumption derived from transportation activities. Private car is the dominant but has poor energetic performance. Fuel consumption is impacted by the fuel efficiency. Growth of vehicle miles traveled is correlated with changes in energy price. So the activities of the vehicle, passenger vehicle depend on the energy price, fuel price. And the last one, what I call the transportation that used to transport freights. So this kind of transportation account of 40% to 50% of the total energy consumption. Dominated by road transportation is around 80% from the total consumption compared with water and also air mode transportation. Okay, so these are the impact of the transportation and also the energy consumption. Environment and also transport. Okay, now we discuss about transportation impact on environment. So, as we know that, for example, here we show the what I call the lorry condition where this lorry release what I call exhaust smoke. So we have different type of impact. First category of impact is we call direct impact, where we have air pollution, where CO, NOx, PM released from the exhaust gas, where PM stand for particulate matters. As I mentioned before, these particulate matters, which is referred to the solid carbon cores, will cause health problems such as cardiovascular disease, asthma, and also lung cancers. And also this transportation also will cause noise, different kind of noise level. For example, in this chart shows the different level of noise that produced. However, if you look in terms of the level, most of the type of level involved is the noise, what we call pollution, start from moderate and up to extremely loud, all come from the source that involve with transportation. They represent by the type of vehicle inside the yellow box. Okay. And also we have second category that we call indirect impact, which is referred to the engine operation, where incomplete combustion in the combustion process for the specific engine will cause respiratory problems, such as due to the particulate matter released to surrounding, and this will produce particulate matter, as we mentioned before, as I mentioned before. Okay, and based on the specific researcher result that we obtain here, that we show here, from the Pivy, Ako, Saksa, and also Pirita, Roslun, shows the percentage of component of, in the exhaust gas of the vehicle. For example, here shows the pie chart that explain about the what call the percentage of the component in the gasoline exhaust gas. So here the concentrate our focus is about the CO2 percentage here. For the gasoline exhaust consists of 13% of CO2. However, for diesel exhaust consists of 7% of CO2. Other type of emission probably less than 0.5%. Okay, plus heat that release from the combustion process. So due to the release of CO2 and also heat from the combustion activities, we have the last categories of impact, which is we call cumulative impact, which is cause the global warming and also cause the climate changes. Okay, so these are the transportation impact on the environment. Okay, now what is the environment impact on the transportation? Okay, due to the I call climate changes, global warming and so on. So this is the impact actually based on the operation and also the infrastructure of the transportation. Okay, under global warming, we know that one of the effect is heat wave, the increase of temperature. So for the operation of transportation, it will impact of lift offload limit on shorter runway, limit on period of construction activities. So the activity of the construction will be shortened due to the hot weather. In terms of infrastructure, we will have thermal expansion of bridge, pavement integrity and also softening, deformation of rail tracks. So these are the impact due to the heat wave. And also due to global warming, we will have rising sea level. So in terms of operation, we will have frequent interruption of coastal low-lying road, rail, and also air traffic due to the storm surges. Okay, so for the infrastructure, more frequent flooding of infrastructure in low area, erosion of infrastructure support, and also the changes in harbor facilities due to accommodate the higher tides and also surges. And the last one, under global warming, the increase in Arctic temperature. So in terms of operation, we will have longer shipping season, more ice-free port in northern region, and availability of trans-Arctic shipping routes. So in terms of infrastructure, it can be damaged. We will have damage to infrastructure because of the thawing of the permafrost, shortened season for ice road, and so on. Under climate change, the effect of climate change will have different type of inconsistent intensity of precipitation, such as rain, snow, sleet, and also hail. Okay, so in terms of operation, it will increase increase in weather-related delays and disruption, particularly road and also air transport. The infrastructure effect, similar as for the rising sea level, we discussed just now. And also we'll have more frequent hurricane. So this will cause in terms of transportation operation, frequent interruption of air service, frequent and extensive evacuation of coastal area, and the debris of road and rail infrastructure. Okay, so we'll have greater probability of infrastructure failure and also the greater damage to port infrastructure due to the hurricane. Okay, now it's about the still under transportation versus environment. Environment externalities, or externality also means the consequence of the environment. Okay, so we will discuss about two things. First, water pollution from the transportation based on economic costs, where we have for commercial fishing, the yield will decrease. Under recreational facilities, lost the facilities, what I call the company that involved with recreational facilities will lose its revenue. Water purification, so we need to conduct regular inspection and also the treatment costs. In case accident also spill, so we will have cleaning up costs for the water. Under social costs for the water pollution, we have public health consideration, where medical service costs will increase, the burden of the disease. And in terms of environmental costs, we will cause the damage to the ecosystem, especially the biological diversity and also the sustainability. Loss of water regeneration by the wetland. And the second consequence is the air pollution from the transportation. So under economic costs, infrastructure, loss of useful life, replacement and also restoration. Under labor productivities, we will lose people, our wages. Agriculture productivities, yield will decrease. We have biomass restoration time. Social costs will be medical service costs and also the burden of diseases. And the last one, under environmental costs, where we will cause damage to ecosystem, especially the biological diversity and also sustainability. Okay, we continue with the next subtopic. The next subtopic is about the transportation decarbonization. So what the meaning of decarbonization? Refer to the process of reducing CO2 emission from activities that use fossil fuel, which is include the coal, petroleum oil, and also natural gas. So this decarbonization approach actually try to combat the climate change, try to reduce overall carbon footprint, which is referred to the CO2 amount released surrounding. So the approach that can be done in order to combat this problem is by using low carbon or zero carbon energy sources. And also we need to know what is the meaning of sustainability. So sustainability refers to the practice of meeting current needs without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So we need to take care about our future generations. Okay, so the focus of sustainability actually the balancing in terms of environmental, economic, and also social, so that we will have long-term health and also stability for the next future generation. Sustainable transportation. So we need to consider all factors such as the transportation mode, transportation infrastructures, and also transportation operation in order to implement the sustainability of the transportation. Okay, so we need to make sure that the sustainability of transportation will involve the environment sustainability, such as the climate changes, air quality, noise, land use, and also the waste. Also, we need to cover the economy component, such as material and energy, growth, economic growth, employment, pricing, and also competitiveness. And the last one, we need to consider about the society in terms of safety, health, disturbance, access, and also equity. So we need to make sure that all these aspects we need to consider under sustainability for the transportation. Okay. So in order to the action that we need to that we can implement for the decarbonization, so we need to consider the infrastructure, the conveyance in terms of transporting and also equipment, and also we need to have a good management and also operation in order to reduce the CO2 release to surrounding. So under economic, we need to have procurement, which is referred to the buying goods or service for a company, organization, which is try to get a good and also the service that that consider the reduction of CO2 release to surrounding. And also in terms of operation and also the management, you need to consider the congestion pricing, fuel and also carbon pricing, toll, vehicle fuel taxes, differentiated terminal pricing. In terms of infrastructure, you need to consider the rail corridor for the passenger and also the freight, inland waterways such as river, canal, lake, public transit system, and also the rail electrification. Okay. Also, the park and ride, walking and cycling facilities, shore-based power, alternative fuel infrastructure. So all these things can be implemented in order to reduce the CO2 emission. Okay, so in order to implement the decarbonization, also we need to involve the regulatory, such as for the transportation, such as the parking regulation, speed control, traffic management, high occupancy vehicle bans, fuel and energy efficient standard. Okay, under innovation, so we can use the intelligent transport system or digitalization, electric vehicle, and also the terminal automation. And the last one, still under innovation, freight platform, ride sharing, and also the mobility as a service. So we need to use a specific transport. We need to make the what I call the special transport as a service to the community. Okay, managing transport demand. Managing transport demand consists of the demand of fuel cost pricing, the parking control, trip avoidance. So trip avoidance means we need to reduce number of trips to lower the transportation demand. Traffic ban, where we have restriction of certain vehicle to use certain road, for example. So to manage the transport demand, so we'll involve the physical and also the services, and also the digital aspect, such as the access devices, the entry and also the interaction with information system, geospatial services, real-time, which is referred to the real-time locational information, connectivity network, which is referred to the communication between elements of the information system. So the transportation system also need to have open data exchanges. So data exchange between elements of the information system, integrated payment, which is involving system to settle the transaction, cloud service, And the last one, the blockchain, which is refer to the encrypt transaction and also event in the ledger. So these are the criteria for digital aspect in the transportation. How to improve the transport supply? So we need to improve that transport supply in order to obtain efficient transportation, and also to reduce the transportation demand. Okay, so in order to improve transport supply, we need to focus, or we need to consider the energy intensity of the vehicle and also the carbon intensity of the fuel, where this factor is important because we want to reduce energy use and also the CO2 release. Densification, which is referred to the increase of population in the area, and agglomeration, which is referred to the clustering business, industry, and also service in an area, which is all this approach actually try to minimize what called the usage of transportation. Contact appropriate transport, which means we need to design, we need to have specific design to fit specific need in certain communities. So we need to identify which type of transportation that suitable for that community and so on. And the usage of non-motorized transport, where we can save, we can have benefit in terms of environmental benefit, health benefit, traffic and also traffic congestion benefit, and also the cost. So by using non-motorized transport, we can have a lot of benefit, such as non-motorized transport, such as bicycle. Okay, circulation economy in transportation. So we have material management, such as product design. So we need to have what I call the management in terms of transportation must be near to the source of energy, sustainable sourcing, packaging and also packing, circular material use. Also, we have physical distribution such as demand responsive system, load consolidation, where we will combine multiple shipment in one big shipment, alternative mode and also fuel, certification of carrier and also distribution facilities, and the shipping, scheduling, and routing. So all these two, material management, also physical distribution, and then we will have forwards and also reverse supply chain for the circular economy in transportation. We have supplier, manufacturer, distributor, and the distributor will return the product again to the manufacturer in case the product is not good, and so on. And then the last one is the consumer. So from the consumer, the product or the whatever product will go to the collector. The collector will send the goods to the supplier, and also we have recycler. Whatever waste that we produce from the product will be recycled and sent to the manufacturer to reuse the material so that can produce the new product, new recycled product. And the last one, if the waste or the cannot be recycled, so the waste will go to the disposal. Okay, so these are the supply chain in transportation system. Okay, that's all for chapter number 3. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.